She's basically saying a man that's jacked and kind, a man that's hot and sweet, you can't ever find them together. And that's exactly what Catherine found and lost. And she lost it because she's not used to it. Let me start by saying it's actually so hard to be human. I know that sounds like a crazy statement, but it really is so hard to be a human being in this world. This is going to be a spoiler, so maybe don't watch it or do. Either way, I hope you enjoy this. Catherine, as beautiful as Catherine is, it's such a shame to see how insecure she was and how that ruined our relationship with the world's finest man, Freddie. Everyone's sweetheart right now is Freddie. Everyone and their dogs, everyone and the grandmas, everyone and their daughters, they're in love with Freddie, and so am I. What's not to love? And let's be fair. Let's actually be fair on Catherine. She's traumatized. She said every single person she's been with has cheated on her. And I get how that can make you doubt. And I mean, I say to men that what they say goes in here and comes out the other way. Okay. I say to them, I trust actions, not words. Even actions, I doubt. Okay. We all do that. We doubt our feelings because we've been hurt too many times. We don't trust this man. Okay. Been there, done that. But you've gone on a show with this intention, hopefully to get married. You've gone on a show, hopefully having worked on your baggage. You would just think, right, that you've worked on your problems. And I find it so funny how a few minutes in, even whilst they're still in the pod, we can already see the red flags with all these people. I mean, come on, Sam going in saying, oh, I just want to be loved. I'm just a boy who wants to be loved. Look how quickly we, saw the issues with him. But let's get back to Catherine. I find it sad. I really find it sad for her that she had this beautiful man right in front of her and she managed to ruin it. And that really taught me a lot. She could have been happy right now with this really beautiful man because love is blind, yeah? Sometimes you don't get lucky with the man that comes out of the other side, okay? It could be an ugly duckling. And maybe because this was the first season of the UK version, most people were attractive. But sometimes you don't get lucky. You might talk yourself into, liking someone, as women. I hate that for us. But anyway, this man comes out looking dashing, looking dapper, looking handsome AF. Which, ticks the first box because you're like, whew, relieved, right? You've already made this emotional connection. Now the physical, attraction is there. You managed to ruin it because of your own insecurity. Look, I'm not adopted, not that I know of. So I cannot speak to her trauma in that way. But it's still such a shame and disappointment that she hasn't worked on that before going on the show. You know the deal with these shows. You know how triggering they can be. You know how much they can bring out, all your imperfections right on display on HD, and 4K even on screen. You know the deal. It's kind of frustrating. I wish she had just dealt with her BS because of course now she's the villain of the season. Well, she's the female villain of the season because, she hurt everyone's sweetheart. She hurt Freddie, and I think her being such a villain made Freddie look even more attractive, made him look even more of a green flag because in opposition to him, she was just a complete devil. I don't want to say, but she was kind of the complete devil. And I know she's not a devil. I know she is, she's a good person maybe, to her friends and family. She's probably lovely. But on screen, she came across as a devil. And that's because she's just been through a lot of shit that she hasn't, sorted out with her therapist before going on the show. And I really, really, really want to just drill that into you guys. It tells us a lot. Before you say you're ready for love, make sure you've just worked on and you know, put aside like past, it's hard to do, past trauma, past relationship BS. Like, don't bring that to a new relationship. Don't bring that to me. If I was dating a man who didn't trust me, who kept, being a bit like, oh, you did this, I don't believe you, I need reassurance every second. Nobody wants to reassure you every second of the day. We've seen this time and time again with different seasons. The insecurities getting the best of them. And again, you would think by now that they've done all the work before going on the show. And let's be fair, no amount of work can take away like all your triggers and all your trauma and all of that. But to some extent, it does help. So going forward, I wish and hope these people would just do some kind of therapy, do some kind of self-reflection, do some kind of meditation before going on the show. Just like sort out their life a little bit so that they don't ruin it for themselves. And not just on the show, just for their life in general. Like, how amazing would it have been for her to, go home with this man and be married to him? And maybe Freddie has all these flaws we don't even know about, but we would never know because she, masked whatever flaws he could have had. She masked it all with her flaws, and that just tells us a lot about life, really. Like, sometimes we miss out opportunities because of our own fault, because of our own doing. This isn't if it was meant to be. No, this is you messed up. Sometimes you're the reason for your problems. And now she's with some other guy from the show, and she's been with him for a year, and the show was only filmed a year ago. So it looks like not too long after the show ended and she and Freddie ended, she found reconnected with the other guy from Love Is Blind. But I hope she's happy. I just think it's such a shame. And there's so many people like that, with the past series and different countries, we see that same trait. And particularly in women feeling so insecure that they can't appreciate what's in front of them. They don't believe it when it's actually real. And it's so sad. And let's talk about this even a little bit more. I was going to move on, but let's even drill into it because I just remembered Sabrina Carpenter's new album. Short and sweet. Go listen to it. But there was this particular song. Actually, there are two of them that are related to this discussion. One of them is Slim Pickens. Slim Pickens has to be one of my favorites on the album, hands down. Top 3. Besides the 2 singles she released ahead of the album, Slim Pickens was just wow. I think she spoke for a lot of women, and it just makes you think, if Sabrina Carpenter, as hot as she is, as rich and famous, seemingly has a beautiful life, if she can experience the same thing that every single one of us can relate to, that is mad. Like, what? You know what I mean? Like, if you haven't heard this song, one of my favorite lines from it is, a man who's jacked and kind can find his ass to save my life. Oh, it's Slim Pickens. She's basically saying a man that's jacked and kind, a man that's hot and sweet, you can't ever find them together. And that's exactly what Catherine found and lost. And she lost it because she's not used to it. She's not used to men being jacked and kind, because they're an anomaly. This is 1 in a million, if not 1 in a billion men. And she lost it. Oh, it's so sad. It's so sad. And it's not really our fault. It's what all these men have put us through. Men have put us women through so much. And let's not overly gender this, because, women can be trash too. But even Sabrina Carpenter said it so well. She's like, what's the other funny line? She's like, all I want, something about how all she wants is a man who's kind and alive. Like, it breathes. Someone who's kind and breathes. It's crazy because it really is slim pickings out here. And I know you can rationalize that and, say, well, maybe go for the less attractive men. But why? Why should we have to pick between unattractive and kind? There's so many beautiful women who are also kind. But for some reason, It's hard to find the other way around. Even thinking about Love Island UK, Grace on Love Island UK, so attractive, and still you see her cry and lose her mind over, Joey Essex on the show because of the BS it's putting her through. A girl that hot and attractive, and yeah, it's easier to bounce back when you look like that, and you see it on the show on Love Island UK. You see how she very easily was able to find another man who finds her attractive, let alone us girls. I think I'm cute, but there's levels to cuteness. Anyway, what I meant to say is, someone as attractive as her, still going through the same BS that every single girl goes through. It's crazy, So speaking of crazy and how men drive us crazy, another song from Sabrina Carpenter's new album. It's called, oh dear, why is this keeping in mind? Oh, Girls, Lie to Girls. It goes, you don't have to lie to girls. If they like you, they'll just lie to themselves. Don't I know it better than anyone else? Oh my God. She's like, you don't have to lie to us. She's like, we will make up excuses for you for like you. And it's so true. But why are we like this? Why? And that really is the truth. Like, it's like girls are crying, like lose their minds over you and that till the day they die. And it's such a shame that we all go through the same BS with men. And that I don't know. It's a lot. But I think it also makes me feel better. I think we should all find some kind of solace in the fact that we're not alone in this BS. We're all just trying to find our person and be happy. And it's just so hard. It really is hard. And the ones who find it, they're so lucky. And that's why it really kind of annoys me and triggers me. Let's be real. When people make it seem like, just don't think about it too much. It will come to you when you least expect it. It's because you're trying too hard, or it's because you're not putting yourself out there enough. And it's just luck. For the most part, is luck. I mean, besides, doing the work and letting opportunity meet luck. In the case of Catherine in Love is Blind, again, there are times when the opportunities do come by, but then you miss it because of your own faults. But for a lot of people, we just haven't found that person. And it's just so annoying when people try to play it down and say, go out more or put yourself out there more, or don't care about it too much, get on with your life. And people are lonely out here. I was just listening to a YouTube live from one of my favorite Korean YouTubers. Her name's Anna Lee. I'll put a picture up here. And she was talking about how this AI thing in Korea is getting more popular, where there's an app now where it's kind of like ChatGPT, but it's specialized to you, where you have your own AI girlfriend and boyfriend, and people are forming this proper deep relationships now with bots online. And it's crazy. There's people, I think they took away a feature from the app that got people riled up. And it's just crazy that people are really, really lonely out here. And that's why they're, succumbing to ridiculous circumstances and situations, and all this. It's sad what the world is turned into, but again, it's really a lot. Like I said at the start of this podcast, it's hard to be alive. It's hard to be human on this earth and just get on with life. But anyway, let's go on now. Speaking of going on and getting on, let's move on to Sam in Love is Blind. I mean, they've hated that guy enough online, so I don't even feel the need to hate him anymore. But that's another example of insecurities, except this one was really, really in your face and very blatantly rude. You know what I mean? And when guys like him that think they're nice guys, there are those incels on Reddit that, are pretty famous now. not even famous, what's the word? Infamous, rather, for their notoriousness. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say. They're basically famous for all this like ridiculous statements trying to justify their inceldom, if that's a word. That's what Sam gives me. It gives me incel. It gives me, girls don't like me because I'm too nice to them, so they only want the mean guys, and you shouldn't be nice to girls because they will just use you and dump you and won't take you seriously. Good guys finish last, all of that BS. And I think that can be true in some circumstances, in some situations, but mostly for young women that perhaps don't really know how to date or don't know how to navigate like the dating world, or just want the drama. Just let's face it, they're not here to settle down and find a man. They just want to have fun. But for grown women who want a potential like long-term partner, they don't go for the silly men that just play them. No, they want a real man. They should just be that real man. We see people like Benaya, I think that's his name, Benaya, Freddie, who's the other guy, Bobby. They're nice guys that did not finish last. They're nice guys that got the girl, and the girls are so attractive. Yeah, he's just full of BS. I don't believe a single word he says. I mean, it even came out in the reunion. It lied. He literally lied about Nicole trying to sleep with him. Why would you do that? And it goes back to the first points with Catherine. This is probably the kind of men Catherine deal with. I think she even mentioned, if I'm not wrong, in like that cocktail party where she was like, he looks a lot like my ex or something like that. That's the kind of men that she's dealt with in the past. The kind of man that she's dealt with in the past, and is still attracted to him, so clearly she hasn't grown up yet. So yeah, men like that are the ones that make you doubt every other man out there that poses to be a good person. I still deal with this. I say it a lot. I don't trust men. I do not. I really don't, because of what I've heard on podcasts, because of what I've seen with my own eyes. It's just like crazy. They say one thing, they do another. One day they love you, the next day they don't. Oh, it reminds me of another song on Sabrina Carpenter's album, Coincidence. Oh, that song is such a jam. And besides being such a jam, the lyrics are just so relatable. It's like, yesterday you had no doubts. Today, you're making space for her tongue in your mouth. It's like so true. That's how quick men switch up on you. And again, it's not just men, women do it too. But for some reason, I guess we hear it more, about men being assholes, and that's why it's so hard to believe the good ones. But yeah, it's kind of sad. And speaking of Benaya, there's been like, I know for the most part it's positive, but in real life and partly on social media, there's been some debate about how good he really is, because some people think he might be controlling. And I can see where they're coming from. I think if it was any bit more of him, if it was any more Benaya, I don't know how to say his name, I forgot. If it was any more of what he does, if he took it up a slight bit, like a bit of, took it up a notch, the slightest bit, I can see how that can be controlling. But so far, I don't think he is. So far, I don't really see controlling, because he keeps saying, he wants to fight for the people that he loves. He wants to fight for the people that he loves. And yeah, I think that's what I see so far. He and Nicole are just like quirky. I think they suit each other a lot. And oh my God, another tea. The couple that broke up, the ones that got married and broke up, Sabrina. That's another life lesson. Sometimes when things like align from the start and looks a bit too good to be true, it might be too good to be true. And I know Benaya actually mentioned during the reunion that was the reason, or one of the reasons he drew back from Nicole, is because it was just too good and it scared him off. But I think with the case of Sabrina and, I forgot the other guy's name, the guy she married, that was one where everyone was kind of like dumbfounded and caught off guard, because we really did expect them to, like, you know, go the long run. But obviously it came out that he's not as financially, you know, sound as he portrayed on the show, and couldn't really commit to the things that he said during the show, and how he's so different off camera and things like that. So, but that really shocked me, because it just really perpetuates my fear about relationships and love, really. Let's be real. I don't really believe, it's hard to say and cringe. I don't know if I believe in, like, love lasting long. I really don't believe in true love that stands the test of time. I think I've not seen it yet in my own personal life. And I know there are couples out there that have been together for 70 years, maybe your grandma or great grandma or whatever. But I haven't seen it. And I always see faults and cracks in every single relationship I know. And in another way, I find solace in it because I'm single. So I kind of find solace in it, because when I see people, I'm just like, you know, when I see people like couples on the street that seemingly look happy, I'm just like, they're probably not that happy. I know I'm kind of being a hater, but that's really how I feel. I'm like, they're probably arguing on their way back home, because I've seen it with my two eyes in my lift in my flat. I've seen it multiple times, couples arguing on, you know, there's people in the lift and they don't care, they like literally yelling at each other. This time I was coming back from the gym, and this couple were literally like swearing at each other, and, you know, the guy being like, shut up, something, bitch. And I'm like, whoa, can't be me. And things like that just make me happy to be single, or at least less lonely. Feel less lonely and feel less, you know, sad about being single, you know. Not that I'm really sad about being single, but sometimes you do feel like, it'll be nice, like, you know, is someone out there checking for me? Anybody? Somebody? But when I see things like that, or remember things like that, it just makes me think, at least there's no one stressing me out. Because it is hard. Again, it's hard to be human. It's so hard to be human. On one hand, you're like, should I even bother? Should I even bother going on this Love is Blind show and trying to find my husband? And then when I find the man, should I even bother marrying him and believing in him and trust that he's going to do what he says he will do? And it's like, should I even bother, knowing that it probably will end in shambles? It's so hard. Like, there's no right answer. And yeah, for anybody going through hell right now because of a man or a woman, hang in there, because yeah, it's not easy. I think everyone is really just doing the best that they can, and I can sit here and, you know, chat about them and commentate and say I can do better. But when you're in it, like I said before, common sense goes straight out the window, and you don't know how to act, you don't know how to behave, you don't know how to control yourself and your feelings, and it's just difficult. Like, even right now, I always just struggle with whether or not I even want to date. I'm just like, am I just better off chilling and just getting on with my life and just doing everything solo? But then I remember I'm 26 and I'm not getting any younger, and perhaps I could find somebody that maybe exists, someone that really does tick the box and I don't have to compromise so much for, and, you know, all those things. But yeah, the one lesson I want you guys to take from this is just that we're all going through the same BS and we're all doing the best we can to deal with it. There's no one who has the answer to this, like, how do I find the right person? How do I know if it's the right person? How do I know when it's time to break up? How do I deal with a breakup? How do I navigate this relationship and tell this guy that I like him, tell him that I love him, tell him I don't love him, oh my God, it's just so much to think about when it comes to love and relationships. And it's crazy. You know, I think because we do experience the same things, I do find solace in it in a way. And I think it would never stop being a topic of conversation. Why do we talk about love and relationships so much? It's because we need it. You know, as humans, we're just like, Yeah, we're social animals, we're social beings. I don't think we can ever exist by ourselves. Everyone says this when they are going through a breakup or some guy that didn't text them back. They all give up and say, right, I'm done. This is the last one. I'm giving a chance. How many times have you deleted the dating apps and said to yourself, right, this is it. This is the last one. But somehow you just go back on it because there's just that hope that what if the guy actually does exist, the one everyone's told you about that you're dreaming of is in your imagination. He doesn't exist. No perfect man out there, blah blah blah. God, have I been told that so many times that the man I want does not exist. But I cannot wait for the day that I prove them wrong and prove myself right. Or rather actually prove myself wrong, because I don't even think I believe that the man that I want exists. I don't know. I really don't know if he does, to be fair. I don't think he does, and I'm hoping he does. But I think we just have to hold on. The Koreans will say, fighting. And if you know me, you know I'm obsessed with K-drama. So yeah, hang in there. And try not to make your insecurities like get the best of you and your new relationships. I guess should we round this up with like three lessons, life lessons, from Love Is Blind to Love Island and Sabrina Carpenter's new album, short and sweet. Number one, we're all in this together. Every single woman out there and man, every single person out there has gone through something that you're going through right now. Any relationship dilemma and dating issue you're going through right now, someone out there has gone through the exact same thing. Not just one, loads of people, millions possibly, and they came out of it fine. So you will be okay. Number two, try as much as possible, as hard as it can be, try to not let your past trauma dictate your future experiences. Try to, treat each new person you meet as a new person, as a new potential, and give them the benefit of a doubt. It's easier said than done. Even I struggle with this. Try not to let it, influence your behavior too badly. Of course, go with your heart, but also take your head along with you. But don't let it cloud your judgment too much. And three, remember, c'est la vie. Sometimes things happen that we, find it difficult to deal with and question why we. And sometimes things are hard, but that's life. C'est la vie, that is life. And, we just have to get on with it and, try, do the best, do whatever you can, because it's hard. Remember, it's hard to be human. In this world, it's hard. So you're not like dumb or stupid or whatever for feeling the way you feel about whatever it is you're going through. You are just human, and unless you want to be a robot, you will go through some BS, and that's just facts. That's just life. And I hope that whatever BS it is you're going through right now, you can find a way to walk through it. Just live life, okay? Sometimes it's fine to mess up. It's okay. But really, songs like Coincidence and even Taste, even Slim Pickens and Please, 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 Sabrina Carpenter. Oh, songs like that just makes me think like, you know what? We're all just doing our best, man. Like, chill. Like let's just live life and have fun sometimes, man. Like, let cry as much as you want, but also laugh at your dilemma, because we're all just going through the same BS at the end of the day, and we'll be fine. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, make sure to watch some of my other videos, like, subscribe, share, and all of that. My name is Angie, and I'll see you again in my next video. Bye bye.